shit, I did the first question twice. Damn it.
You know you're live, right?
Yes, they've heard words like that before. They love it. All right, good evening and welcome to Gridiron Weekly. I'm joined by the A Train and the man that puts so many winners in on deaf kids, it's unbelievable. It's in Guinness Book of World Records. Look it up. He pounds them when he wants to. Mr. John Restaina. He is the pride of Niagara Falls, and he can drain those threes, baby. All right, you know what we are. You know what we're about. It's about football time, and it's Thursday night. So we're going to start really, really fast, and we're going to ask.
It's about football time? Really?
It's about football time, baby. It's time for football. Let's go. All right. So, Billy, 2026, the lovely NCAA football playoffs has now guaranteed a conference winner a spot in the playoffs. Would have meant Duke this year would have got the spot.
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on that? Go for it now, buddy.
Well, how about Duke? 8-5. Wins the ACC, left out of the 12-team field because they were unranked. It's just this is the under the 2026 rules that are coming in, they would have automatically qualified, which is you won the effing ACC, for crying out loud. I mean, how are you left out of the 12? I mean, So do I need to really say anything more? I mean,
no. Real quick question for you, Billy: would they have left Alabama out then?
Probably not. No, that's the problem. No, that's probably the issue. Yeah, I know, but
I think they would have been out. It's a guess. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, under the 2026 rules, they probably would be out, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, 8-5, you win the ACC, but you're left out of the 12-team field. That's why people had some issues with it. So
I'm in favor of expansion. John, tackle this, buddy.
No, that's the problem, because they can't figure this out. Because Duke isn't one of the best 12 teams in football. They're not. They're not one of the top 12 teams. They win their conference, but they're not. You know that. They're not. They're not as good as I could go through a list of names that didn't make it. Notre Dame, for example. But it's what I mean. It's hard. That's why they haven't figured this out yet. It's still a mess. It's still not. I don't even know if they can. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Maybe this is the best way. But, you get into that situation, and I don't know how many teams can you have in this? We'll be going, since they're taking all this time off anyways, we'd be playing until we'd still be going. By the way, think about if we added more teams. Holy cow. The championship game still hasn't been played.
Yeah, but you would have broken down that span of time off, right? You would start right after, you'd start the 16th of December, a whole week earlier, and you get some more rounds in. I'm more conspiracy theorist than you guys, real quickly. I think they did this because of the way the SEC has 9-game schedule next year, and they're going to cannibalize each other. I mean, you're going to have the winner of the SEC be a 2 or 3 team loss, a team with 2 or 3 losses. You just are. Nobody's going to make it through a 9-game SEC schedule. They're just not. And if that team does, they're going to be an incredibly talented football program, because there's no way you can win all those games, not with 9 games in conference. There's just no way, and that leaves Alabama with just what, Billy, the barber school, the Walmart, and what else? I mean, at least very little margin of error. Plus, here's the other thing: is that we have contracts with big time contracts, right? With other schools that are already set in place for years. So you're looking at Alabama might get, the barber college once now, every couple of years. Which the barber college $1 million to play. I'm being, facetious, of course, and I mean that's kind of the way it is. What are your thoughts on that, real quick, John?
Yeah, I could be conspiracy theory. I believe that too. I mean, I understand, because they did go to the 9th game. I mean, it's not, they got to figure out a way to perfect this. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I can't even think of it, man. I think about how could you make this better? And I don't see it being made better, because look at the teams who was in it this year? James Madison, and who was the other team that was in it? They got destroyed. So,
right. Yeah.
And I mean, they really shouldn't be there because they're not the top. If you want to get to who the best team is in the country, I don't know how you do it without making people feel bad. So we're going to have to switch. I think where I'm thinking it's going to go someday is you got to make you just got to make big divisions. And no more are we going to have Pac-10s and Big 12s and Big 10s because I don't know how else to do it because who wants to? I don't want to see them. In my mind, I want to see the top 12, I guess, not James Madison.
Chris Jasper say Alabama also plays the School of the Blind. Yeah,
that they do, Christopher or Chris. That's
that.
Yeah, Billy, real quick jump on that. What do you think? Think they did that for the SEC or what?
Well, here's the deal: the Big Ten and SEC, everybody knows the likelihood of them producing the high-ranked champions are pretty damn high. The ACC and Big 12, not so much, right? So I don't know. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing you got to look at. You get somebody in there, low-ranked champion. You get a number 20 or an unranked in there now. They take an automatic spot. That SEC or that Big Ten that has a higher rank, let's say at a 10 or 12, may be left out. A higher ranked, team, which that's going to be an issue too.
Yeah, but that happens every year in the NCAA basketball, right? You get the Horizon League at 13 and 18, and they win the tourney and they get the automatic bid.
Yes, Duke won the ACC last year, but did they really deserve to be there? No, I don't think they did.
Yeah,
I don't think they did. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can make an argument that they still won the Atlantic Coastal Conference and at 8-5. But they were unranked. That's the issue. So what's that? So my point is what's that say about the conference?
Right. Yeah.
That should speak volumes of your conference competitiveness.
Right. I mean, you're right. It truly is. I'm just wondering when the other conferences, because does Indiana make it to the national championship undefeated if they have to play Iowa, Oregon, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State? I mean, do they make it to the undefeated if they have to play everybody in the Big Ten, including all the big boys? I don't know.
No, probably not. Yeah.
Right, and that's. I mean, nothing.
Probably not. I agree, John. Probably not.
Taking nothing away what Signetti did because it was an amazing run, but I agree with both of you. Probably not. Here's the one that really chaps my bottom, gentlemen. So Notre Dame has been blessed by God, I guess, to get an automatic bid every year if they finish in the top 12. What the shit is that? What is that? I love Notre Dame. Love rooting for them. But what is that? Billy, you're first. What is that?
Well,
I mean, we know what it is. It's all about money because they travel well. But what the shit is that?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that.
Hell, and that what that does? That says don't even join a conference. Just be a team. Well, like Alabama. Why the hell are you in the SEC? Just go independent, right?
Absolutely.
You travel well. You're gonna have you're gonna be ranked every year, right?
Yeah.
Well,
and I hey, listen, I don't like the way the independent status. It's meant that they don't have to play a conference championship game,
right?
I mean, I don't know. To me, that's kind of your tune-up game, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Before the playoffs,
right.
And I just, I don't like that they've kind of been this, I mean, in my opinion, they've kind of gotten preferential treatment.
Exactly.
And this is what this is, this is, and I mean, that kind of makes people want to hate them even more,
Correct. And it also, if I'm the NCAA, I'm not doing this. I'm sorry. I'm forcing them to join. They're in every sport in the ACC. You join the ACC, you're finding another conference. And the only reason they do it is because they have that NBC money and they bring, their fans travel, one of the best fan bases in the country. But that is just absurd because there's some games that have that are easy. Go ahead, Billy.
You know why they like this? You know why they like having an independent? Because they keep all the playoff revenue, unlike these conference teams that got to share it.
Right.
So that's one of them as well. That's it all comes down to the money. But here's another thing. Okay, as we move to these non-game, as conferences move to these non-game league schedules, I said, it essentially alluded to it, when you first asked me. Being independent, having that schedule, it may not provide the same level of the late season. Like I said, the tune-up games, the late season intensity, and it's, to me, it's
right.
It leaves them more susceptible to being rusty, compared to some of these teams that are battle tested conference champions. They're ready to go, man. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
So
one thing it's doing for me is it's pushing me to want to watch more like Mountain West games. I don't know, or even Pac-12, whatever it is. Like they're pushing me into that direction because now you got Notre Dame, who basically just superseded even the SEC. With that, what they got going on, they're even better than. Like they even have more of a, they're even a step above Alabama in my mind when you can basically do whatever you want and all you got to do is finish in the top 12. So I'm seriously being pushed towards Mountain. I look at the Mountain West. I look at some of those teams there. I look at some of the. I'm almost more interested in that than I am in the big ones.
Go ahead, Billy.
And I didn't like, I just don't like this facade that they have. I used to have respect for Notre Dame, but in recent years, I've kind of lost a lot of respect for them, especially when their athletic director went on Dan Patrick's show and was just basically saying about how they're the victim. They're the victim in all of this. How do you figure you're the? Yeah, how do you figure you're the victim in all this?
Like about Dan Patrick not pushing back.
Right, exactly. Like I would have pushed it if I was Dan Patrick. If he was coming on my show, dude. Yeah, if he wasn't coming on. If he was coming on my show, I wouldn't be softballing his ass. I would be, I would bring it up. I would say, hey, so you're the victim, right? So let's say as an independent, you keep all the playoff revenue. You don't have to share it like all these other conference teams have to share it among the conference. What do you got to say about that? Are you the victim now? You still feel like you're the victim?
Billy, and that's a fantastic point because in the fiscal year 2024 to 2025, the SEC gave its 16-member teams, right? This is 24, 25. We're not even talking about 25, 26 yet. They distributed $1.03 billion to each school. How much is the friggin' SEC making? It's giving $1 billion from 1 to 16.
Right.
I mean, that's
insane.
I don't even know about the Big Ten because the Big Ten's going to sign with some hedge fund now for a couple billion. I mean, they're going to continue.
So Notre Dame, tell us what you're making, man.
Right. Like
I mean, disclose to us what you made.
Well, they have to disclose the FCC. They have to disclose the Notre Dame NBC deal. That has to be disclosed. That's public knowledge. But still, I think the NCAA is being, and I love Notre Dame. Been a Notre Dame fan my entire life. One of my best friends played there. I don't agree with it. I think Notre Dame's getting a friggin' pass.
No,
Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan, Stanford, Alabama, Clemson. If they played named teams as opposed to the service academies and this, that, and the other, yeah, man, and the MAC team, yeah, let's go for it. You finish top 12 with that schedule, hell yeah, I'll save you a spot. Like you said, Billy, they're battle tested.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I was a coach and if I was in that program or oversaw that program in whatever capacity, I wouldn't like it because, like I said, it the potential for you to be rusty is, you're not battle tested. Right. Yeah, you're not battle tested.
Yeah, totally agree. It's completely high. You're right. We got another one.
Yeah.
Jasper said Purdue. You must be a Purdue fan, Mr. Chris Jasper. The Boilermakers. Yeah, but anyway, all right. So we're moving on to our next question, gentlemen. And the next question is, I didn't realize that North Dakota State will join the Mountain West as a football only in that conference. They'll go from 1AA to 1A, FCS to FBS. Now, when James Madison did it, they went 11-1 and were not allowed. The NCAA eventually allowed them in that bowl game that year, which they promptly lost under Signetti. Go figure. But Should they waive that? I mean, they've got 10 titles in the FCS. They've got an incredible alumni in the NFL. They have NFL players, right? Should they say waive that and just say, yeah, if you finish with 6 wins, you can get a bowl game? John, you start us off on this one.
Yeah, well, why not? It should have always been that way. Like, what the hell? Why not? Of course, if they can go 11-1, whatever, yes, go to a bowl game. It's great. I mean, it kind of like, remember when Boise State finally made its way into the, I don't even remember where they were, the WAC or whatever.
Yeah.
They were the first, I mean, that was exciting. This is exciting. I can't wait to see it. And definitely, I'm waving it, and they can do whatever. I hope they make the playoff, do whatever they got to do.
Yeah, I'd love it. Billy, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's a 2-year transition period. I mean, really, it's just a bar when you look at it. It's a bar from the postseason for 2 years.
I don't get it, though. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
I don't either.
I could see that if Alabama went down to FCS and you gave them 2 years. That I could understand, right?
Right.
But I think I mean, they're going to do a waiver, and I think when you look at North Dakota State, I mean, they're a 10-time FCS national, 10 FCS national titles, very competitive history. I think that in itself makes you a strong candidate for a waiver.
I totally agree. And as I was writing this question today, I also saw that the MAC is adding to their program. Do you know who the MAC is adding?
Yeah. No.
The MAC is adding Sacramento State. What in the heck is that going to do for them?
Yeah.
Sacramento State's going from the FCS to the FBS in sports. What is that going to do for the freaking MAC conference? Anybody?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to the coast now. All teams have to go to the coast.
I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid. Just like Cal being in the ACC.
Yeah.
Somebody obviously flunked geography, I guess.
Yeah, right. Pretty bad. Yeah.
That's a good one. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. I love that answer.
I mean, West Coast, Pacific Ocean, right? Let's put them in the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Yeah.
Flunk geography.
But I mean, they've been in the FCS playoffs the last 4 years, so I think they'll be able to compete. But the MAC, are you kidding me? I mean, I mean, you're in freaking Toledo, Ohio, right? You're in Miami of Ohio.
You're in Buffalo.
Right? And now you got to go. Now your tennis team has to go to Sacramento State, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's silly.
Yeah, what a trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. What a waste of money.
I mean, like those MAC teams 25 years ago, the most that they would travel was maybe, I don't know, maybe down to like Eastern Carolina or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Really?
That was like the farthest they would travel,
And the thing is,
against the ECU Pirates, that was like that was it.
But I mean, you truly can't say student athlete any longer. You just can't. If you're going out.
No, they're a paid athlete. They're paid athletes. No,
Sure.
Unfortunately, I mean, it is. It is what it is. I mean, they make the university a lot of money. I see that standpoint, but it is. I agree. You can't student athlete. You might as well just throw that out the window.
Right. Yep. University of Northern Illinois has got to go to Sacramento State on a weekend, or Sacramento State has to come across the road. It just kind of boggles my mind. I think it's leaning toward more. If the college football map was spread out more equally, if you had 4 quadrants that were equal and you could reduce the travel time, I'm with John. They could just easily split it into 4 and just be done with it, right? Create a mega conference, in the 4, but it's just so concentrated, east of the Mississippi that I don't think that's ever possible. All right, we're touching on this now. This is just a really quick because they're going to happen. John, you'll start us off. The spring game, is it worth it or not?
Not to me. No, I don't pay attention much. I still think I can't understand why they can't play those, controlled scrimmages with other schools in the area or something. Do those types of things like the NFL teams like to do. And since we are paid anyways, players, just let's get into some scrimmages. Let's really do something. The spring game, that game's terrible. It doesn't do nothing for me.
Yeah. Or I would propose that since they all want to have a home game, pick a school, do a home and an away. Pick a school, right?
Yeah.
Pick a home and an away.
And just exhibition. Yeah.
Billy, thoughts?
Well, I mean, What? I think you already have 19 Power 4 teams that have canceled them, right?
Have they
I
really?
believe. I think so, yeah. I mean,
Really?
I read that somewhere the other day that it just due to injury risk. I don't know. I mean, the games that I've saw, I don't understand.
I don't either. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand the injury risks. I mean,
well, I
Yeah,
don't understand the game, like the score, like 55-38. So somebody's shitty. Who is it? Right? Who's bad? Is it your backup offense? Or
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When you see lopsided games, you're like, oh, what the hell happened there? I mean, your coach isn't happy. Coach
Yeah.
is pissed.
Right.
Because he's like, what the hell? What's this? No, my point is like the injury risks. I mean, I don't see them doing a lot of tackling. They wrap up and they blow the whistle.
Right.
Right. I mean, obviously you're gonna thump, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, excuse me.
Bless you, sir.
Some of these programs though, like Ohio State and Georgia, they draw some in Alabama too. They draw some pretty large crowds. With it. So, yeah.
John, where do you hear this story? As I'm checking Billy. For the second straight year, the NCAA has rescinded. They have not given permission to Colorado and Syracuse to play a spring game. I didn't even know that. Any of you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, they requested it again. They were denied last year. This year in 2026, the NCAA denied it again. That's right to our point.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. Did not know that. That's pretty wild that they applied twice and got denied, which is crazy. Yeah. But the whole spring game will come up again in our football section, our NFL football section, professional football section, which starts right now. All right.
Billy, I mean, here's the other thing with it too, real quick. Some of these games that are televised. So exactly. I mean, some of these coaches can scout the talent, and they could. It's the transfer portal tampering that could go on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, because you can invite some of these. You see something. You see something. It's a player. You invite them to leave. It's basically a free market at that point in time.
Right.
So
I totally agree with you. All right, so we're moving into the professionals. All right, so we follow the NFL schedule pretty tightly here. So what's up on the schedule now? They have opened up the franchise tag, transition tags, all the other crap. We're just going to focus on transition tags because it's the most popular one and the most trendy one. But can you guys think of anybody worthy? And this is all 32 teams. We're going to start with John. Anybody worthy of, really worthy of a franchise tag? Go, John.
Okay, and these aren't guys that I would figure would be tagged just to trade. So I think Pickens in Dallas would be a good one because you want to get it, see what he's going to be like again. So I don't know if I'd trust him. So I'd want another year of him and see if he is what we hope he is. The wheels don't come off somewhere here, or he doesn't disinterested, whatever the issues are. He might be the biggest one for me that I would tag.
Right. Billy, you got anything?
I mean, even though he's coming off an injury, I would tag Daniel Jones if I was Indianapolis.
Ooh.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, just judging what he did before the injury, I think that
they got nothing else.
Exactly. You've got nothing else. I mean, you really, and I mean, he would be the number one guy on my list.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I thought of a couple. The only one I really
Kyle Pitts, I would say, is another one.
Yep.
Kyle Pitts is another one. I think that would be worthy of a franchise tag.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, Billy, you're up on the next one, right? So we have the combine. It is here. It's upon us. 23rd to March 2nd, right? They're going to start the combine. So, Billy, you were born in what? 80 or 79?
80.
Okay. So you were probably in your teens. They had a player from Boston College named Mike Mamula who came into the combine and freaking just crushed it. I mean, unbelievably crushed it. I mean, overperformed everything. So my question is, and I've heard different GMs say this and that, Billy, what do you do if a player goes into the combine and either craps out or performs so good you can't even imagine it? What would you do as a GM or a coach? How would you evaluate the player?
I don't really evaluate. I mean, I don't know. For me, I look at it like this, like if the NFL was track and field, it would be great, right?
Yeah.
It would probably give you the best evaluation that you can, but it's not. I mean, athleticism doesn't always translate to production.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
And I mean, like I look at I think the most valuable facet of this whole
I know what you're going to
combine.
say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the most valuable facet is actually sitting down
Bam.
and seeing where the player's headspace is. I think that's
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's yeah. I mean, Pat Kerwin the other day was talking about this on Moving the Chains. He was saying about when Art Monk was Art Monk left the Redskins, he tried him out for the Giants when he was GM there.
Jets.
And he said, or Jets, I'm sorry, Jets. And he said, he came in and ran a horrible 440. It was horrible, But he said,
he ran a 4.5. He ran. That's he had another player that came in and said, he doesn't think he should run, and he was like, 25 years old, and he was in at the same time. Art Monk was, and he said, "Art, man, I got to get you to run." He went out there. He goes, "Give me 5 minutes to stretch." Went out and blew it like it was a 4.49 or 4.5.
Yeah, and he was terrible. Yeah, he was terrible. Like he was, it was raining and whatever. But I don't know. I mean, it really, I mean, like I said, it's athleticism doesn't always translate into production, and especially in football.
Yeah,
I mean, I think and it's artificial testing environments too, is what you got to look at. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like,
right.
It doesn't measure game speed and functional strength of a position. I don't know. To me, that's it doesn't give you a true baseline result on that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think the most valuable thing is just getting, the interviews and the, getting to see where their work ethic is, their intelligence, different things like that. Medical, I think, is good too. We've had some guys, even they've caught some stuff in their medical things in the combine that they would have, you know what I mean? That, and long-term durability too, I think is another, key to a lot of these medical. They can look at knees and things like that. Maybe guys that have gotten, ACL, repaired in college, they can kind of look at and say, okay, this guy's, good to go, or, oh, there might be some issues with this guy on down the road. You may only get a year or two out of him, and he's gonna tear it again, and then it's gonna be worse.
Right.
So,
right. John, jump in there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess it's as bad. The pro days are the same thing. They're kind of useless, but I think you're right. I mean, you got to find out the character of the person and all that. And then it's just looking at the film, I guess, of what they did in college, or hell, I'd rather even go back to high school before I'd look at probably those, I would think, pro day type things and all that. I mean, I agree with Bill. I agree with both you guys. I mean, it's got to be, you work out what their character is, where their head is, how they are, who they are, what type of person they are. Figure out if that's something you want to bring into your, your facility there. And then the tape has got to be all it is. How they did in college, like I said, maybe even high school, for God's sakes, will be better than what they do in Indy.
Yeah. And it's also interesting. I heard a couple of GMs say that they use the combine to confirm their suspicions, what they've seen on tape. So if you see a guy on tape who's fast, you predictably think he's going to be fast. Yeah. If you see somebody on tape who's got football speed, which is different than the 40 time, you're going to see that at Indy. So go ahead, Bill.
Well, I really think you get more evaluation from the Senior Bowl. I know it's only one game, but I mean, you get a lot of. I mean, to me, it's like that's, and I mean, some of these guys only get a couple series in there, but sometimes that's enough.
Right.
Sometimes that's enough to, sometimes you get more of an evaluation in a couple series than the whole damn combine. And it's, hey, listen, let's cut to the chase here. It's a money-making thing for the NFL, right? It keeps them relevant in February. It really does.
Right.
Just because they're televising it, Rich Eisen's there.
Question for you, Billy. Do you think they start moving that like they did the draft?
Start what?
Do you think they start moving the combine like they did the draft?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it would be something. I mean, it's all. I mean, for the longest time, it's been at Lucas Oil. I mean, it's been years, right? It's been 20 years. It's been going on at Lucas Oil.
Yeah, but you have so many dome stadiums now. You can do it. You can
do it anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. I mean, it's like I said, it keeps the NFL relevant. That's why they do it. I mean,
imagine it'd say Jerry.
I mean, it's not why they do it, but it's a they look at it as a money making tool as well.
Yeah, no doubt whatsoever. All right, John, you're up for the next question. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. I'm not a big bettor. I don't think you guys are, but they have released on several sites the over/under for the 26 season NFL wins. John, I'll give you your favorite team, and then you can see what they're good. Your favorite team is the over/under number is set at 9.5. Billy, for the Steelers, it's 8.5. For my pathetic team, it's 7.5. So, John, start us off. Do you think the Bears are going to go over or under?
Well, tougher schedule, right? I mean, it's going to be tougher. Just like I notice all those teams like New England and Jacksonville, they all are at 9.5. Every one of them teams are at 9.5, and their schedules are going to be tougher. Could I see the Bears be 9-8? Sure, why not? Yes, I could with a tougher schedule like this, but I would hope they go over. They could be 10-7. I would go over with them, but I'm a little concerned. It could be 9. It really could. Because the schedule is extremely, extremely tough compared to what they had this year. And I'm telling you guys, for me, strength of schedule does mean something to me in the NFL.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, and the other teams in your division, Detroit's set at 10.5, Green Bay set at 10.5. I think it's a gift for Minnesota at 8.5 because they gave a Ferrari to a kid who can't drive. But I agree with you. It's tough. That schedule
is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, you're up, man. 8.5 for the Steelers. I'll give you what the rest of the conference is. You got the Brownies at 6.5. You got the Ravens at 10.5, and you have the Bengals at 9.5. What do you think about the Steelers?
Well, Browns should be at 4.5.
They should be.
Yeah. God, that's way too high.
They got a new coach, man. There's hope there, Billy.
Yeah, I don't know. Stefanski was a good coach. You got idiot owners, is what you got stupid ass ownership is what it comes down to in Cleveland.
So 8.5 for your Steelers. What do you think?
Over. I think over for sure. Yeah.
I kind of, let me be honest. I think so too, and here's why. Here's what I think. I think there's going to be a breath of fresh. I know it's McCarthy. I know it's not like some brand new young. It's got to be different. There's got to be at least a feeling of
it's going to be an offensive philosophy first, which I think is something you haven't had in God
50s and 60s.
Yeah, exactly. Since freaking Ted Marchibroda was effing quarterback. I mean, you haven't had
It's got to be like they opened the windows up. Like you think about it, you know what I mean? Like that place is closed in.
I agree, and I mean, people say, but I think, Aaron Rodgers more than likely is going to come back, and it's going to be
not in favor of that.
Well, I mean,
it just stunts the growth of the team.
I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on the whole thing, to be honest with you. I could see the point of not having him back. I can see the point of having him back with McCarthy. I just, I'm going over on 8.5 for sure.
Interesting. So for the Washington team, I could see the Washington team being 5-12 or 12-5, and I'm more leaning to the 5-12. They have to. The defense is old. They're cutting a lot of people. They have a lot of cap space. It's got to be spent wisely.
They're still the oldest team. They're still the oldest team in the league, I believe. Right? Average.
No. They're 27-1. Once they start their cuts, they'll be about 20. 25.
I knew last year, to start of last year, they were the oldest.
They were tied with the Steelers at 27.1. So if they get rid of the players they're supposed to get rid of, which they already have because they're not under contract, the Bobby Wagners of the world, the Ertz of the world, all those one-year deals have expired. So they'll get young really, really quickly once the new year starts.
Well, and I'll say this, they let go of their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, and the coach called that. He should have fired himself because he's a jackass. And I'll tell you something. He has a track record of not getting along with his coordinators. In my opinion, he's a first class asshole, and that's.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed this year only because they didn't realize that they had, you hit lightning in the bottle every once in a while in the NFL, and that's what they did. And I thought that they should have done a lot more on the defensive and offensive lines. I mean, the kid they got from Oregon did well. He played 17 games, had a great rate. But I'm an inside out, not an outside in. So hopefully they'll get that.
I mean, what's your take on that whole thing? I
think that the collapse was predictable. I told you.
Well, no, I'm asking about this offensive. How does Dan Quinn just absolve himself from all responsibility of everything? Well, I mean, he wants to say about injuries. There's other teams that have dealt with injuries that.
Yeah,
so
but
that's not an excuse.
They don't have a good backup. I mean, once you lose Jaden Daniels, you drop off a cliff. It's nothing even close. Purdy and Jones are the exact same guy.
I just
high level passers. They were the team in the NFL with the most injuries out of anybody. Number one.
I think
that I predicted the collapse. I told everybody. I said they're a 5-win team, and they barely made it to 5 wins.
I think Quinn's a jerk. I do. Like I said,
I don't know that he is. I think he.
Well, I think he is because he won't take responsibility for. He wants to fire this coordinators. Oh, that's their fault. He
says that, though. I think he understands.
Well, he made that decision. He made that decision.
Of course, because it gets stale. You have to recognize when it gets stale. He felt it was stale with Kingsbury on offense, which it was.
I think it's stale with him as head coach. If you ask me.
It's only been 3 years out of a 5-year, and if they think it's stale for this year, they're not a team that's afraid to fire a coach. Believe me, they'll get rid of it. They'll get rid of him in a heartbeat if they think they can do better. I mean, I think that they had to make changes, and they were wise enough to do it. That's why I think other teams that don't make changes are foolish. 20 teams in the NFL,
right?
20 new offensive coordinators. 20, and I think it's 15 or 16 brand new defensive coordinators.
Well,
so it's there.
Just in my team's division alone, it's going to be crazy not seeing Harbaugh and Tomlin in that division. It'll be crazy to not even see Stefanski there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
freaking Zach Taylor. That's the only guy that is standing. Yeah.
Well, he's cheap, and the Bengals don't spend money.
No.
So you figure that was going to happen. All right, Billy, on to the next question. We talked about the spring football game, whether we like it or not, but, we watch, so does the world. Billy, will you be watching the UFL or the CFL? Go.
Absolutely. I watch it every year. Yeah, I mean, if you're a football fan, even though I think the UFL is, the product – last year I thought the product was a little bit, but I'll tell you what, the UFL, I like what they've done. They've cut some of these teams out that weren't really generating the revenue or weren't running things properly. They've increased their salary structure. Some of their teams are even surpassing the CFL in their minimum pay, leading to some tighter competition for some of these players. I think it's going to be a better product this year in the UFL. I really do. I will be watching. I mean, I will be watching because I love football. Honestly, I'm a lover of a lot of sports, but I mean, football is number one in my book. Yeah. And I call myself a rabid football fan, and my wife would attest to that. The amount of time I sometimes spend watching football and get complained at for it, but sometimes you got to negotiate. Sometimes you got to make give and take. But I mean, I love football. I mean, I love football, and any kind of football to me is better than no football. And it bridges the gap between the NFL season, and I love it. I like it. I just I watch CFL as well. I've watched CFL for a number of years, but UFL. The only thing I don't like about the UFL, and you and I talked about this before, when it was the XFL and the USFL, I didn't like how they brought these teams' names back from 45 years ago. Like I think you should have. I think you should have, did a fresh slate. Because let's face it, some of these people don't remember the freaking Houston Gamblers from the 80s, okay? Some of these people don't remember the Birmingham Stallions. And I thought you could have done a little bit better in marketing that. Hell, you could have put a poll out there in those respective cities and said, hey, you guys pick the name. What do you guys want? Maybe it would have brought in more fans because they felt like, hey, we got a vested interest in this now. We helped name the franchise. I just thought that, but then they combined the XFL. I think did a good like DC Defenders, awesome name. I think the brand and everything is great. I think it's good, but they just need to fine tune some things. And they need to. Another thing I think I would do.
I dropped my letter in the chat, by the way, to Goodell. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah. I think we and I've talked about this before. The NFL's stupid for not using them as a farm system or a feeder league.
Yep.
I think it's it is. It's stupid. If you slap the NFL name on that, you would have ratings. If you called it, NFL, I don't know, NFL
Spring NFL, whatever,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spring NFL. The ratings alone would probably triple. And these teams that are like the Birmingham Stallions and Columbus Aviators, they would be, they would turn real quickly into a $300-400 million franchise.
The other thing you do to make it even more popular, especially with teams like the Columbus team, for instance, you look at rosters. I wouldn't put rookies at all. I would make it at least a 3-year, 2 or 3 year veteran. You take all the guys from Ohio State from around the league who aren't getting playing time, you throw them on the Columbus team, right?
Yeah.
Who's
there's a lot of things you could do.
Players. Yeah. You do.
There's a lot of things you could do.
Yeah, John, your thoughts.
I
gotta get John in there, Billy.
John's a long time CFL. I've always watched, and maybe it's because of my proximity to Canada. I've always been a CFL for a long time. And I still do. I'll still watch it at night. I don't watch the other one as much, but I'm going to try to do that a little more this year, the UFL and all that. But I watch CFL a lot. The more that I think about it, there's many times where I'm watching games late at night that it might have played, or played earlier in the day, and I'm watching them. I enjoy that they have their own rules.
You ever go to an Argonaut game? You ever go to a Toronto game?
No, but I should go to I really would go to Hamilton.
Come on, man. We'll pick them up on the way.
Hamilton would be cool. So that looks like little Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
So that's a cool one there.
4 hours. We stop in New York, pick you up. Another half hour, 45 minutes. Whatever. We're in Toronto.
Yeah.
I'm with John. I love the CFL. I watch the CFL as well. I love it. It's great. It's good football. It really is.
I'm glad they don't have any teams in the United States. I'm glad they kept their rules. I'm glad of all of that. I thought it was stupid when they were talking about trying to do all, because that was going to ruin it.
Well, they had the Sacramento Surge, I know, in the 90s for a little bit. And I think a couple other teams that they had down, that they, but I don't know. Like I said, I like it just because I'm a football junkie and it's just, I never get tired of it,
I'm with you. All right, John, you're going to start us off on the last topic we have tonight. It is the news segment in our wonderful show. It's the team needs heading into the draft. Up next, we have the Tennessee Titans. They're set at quarterback. I've looked through all the mock drafts. I think it's going to be a defensive pick. What say you, John?
That's my thing. Is it a wide receiver? Because you want to give them something. But
that's high.
There's a couple edge rushers there, right? The guy from Texas Tech, the Miami, whatever, probably the Texas Tech guy. Yeah, I'd probably lean towards that, the edge rusher from Texas Tech, but Bailey or whatever. But Carnell Tate seems high to me. I like him, but I don't know. That might be a bit high for Tate. Right. But yeah. I think
Carnell Tate would be great. They can get away with Carnell Tate there.
Yeah,
I think they could. Yeah, why not? He's gonna. All the ones he's going in the top 10. What the hell does it matter if it's 1 or 2 picks?
True. That's true. Yeah.
How about Jordan Tyson?
Yeah, I like Tate better.
So do I. But
yeah, and they're going to get the first shot because you figure New York's got to take defense because their defense is ass. the Cardinals, now who knows what they're going to do with Murray, but
New York will F that up. They won't. They'll
probably
they'll screw that up. They'll take like a kicker or something like that.
Yeah,
or a punter. They'll take a punter in the first.
No, Billy, they're going to take the best long snapper.
They might.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either it's David Bailey or Reuben Bain, or I think they can get away with Tate there. I really do. Billy, what are your thoughts?
The Titans need to keep Cam Ward upright. God, I'm surprised the guy's not confined to a wheelchair now. I mean, he got sacked. He got sacked. What was it last year? I think he was sacked like 70 times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was outrageous.
I mean, it was close to 80 sacks they had on him. I mean, I know he was the most sacked quarterback in the league. I know that for sure, by leaps and bounds. Yeah, I mean, I think they need to get him a reliable target. I agree with John. I think wideout is what they need to be. And hey, there's going to be a lot of wideouts in this draft, a ton, and there's probably going to be a lot of them that go in the first round. That being said, you're going to have a lot to pick from in they have the number 4th pick.
Yeah,
I think that potentially they could get Carnell Tate. I don't see him going that early.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going to go in the top. He's going to go in the top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want him,
maybe.
Why not?
Yeah.
But anyway,
but I think in other things you got to look at too. That I was said about him getting sacked. I think you got to look at some centers and some guards. The interior. They've got to do that. And I'll tell you what, too. When you look at interior linemen, their running game was crap last year too, and that's another thing is the interior linemen. They got to do something there.
Yeah. Who's there now? Dayball, right? Is he the offensive coordinator?
I believe so.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
So that's big. So they got a whole thing. They got it set up nice. You know what I mean? That's good. They got a nice setup. Then he'll be able to, because you figure there's a bunch. They got a ton of money, right? Free agency wise. A couple of those Browns offensive linemen are pretty good. I mean, they're all gone. All 5 of them have waved goodbye and wrote letters and said we're not coming back or whatever the hell happened there. So,
and I know that the Titans have a little bit of financial flexibility, and I think that they need they need to look at some other things too. They need to look at being aggressive in free agency. And I think that they'll probably do that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think some of these guys with Robert Saleh in there now. Some of these guys, that they may look to move on to some of these veterans, free up some more cap space, and just kind of reshape the team because it needs to be reshaped.
Yeah, no doubt.
What Callahan did last year, I mean, he was fired. But, I still think Cam Ward's a hell of a quarterback. I really do. I think he's mature. I just think last year he had no protection. He had no protection. And I mean, I don't care who you are. You're getting sacked. Damn near 80 times. You're not going to be able to be effective. I don't care who you are.
True that, sir.
So,
I think they got lots of decisions. They said at 4, they could do a lot. They could trade down, grab some picks. I mean,
what about a running back too? I think Pollard's he's probably going to be a cap casualty, right?
Yeah, but I mean, at 4 with all the other needs they have, I mean, taking the kid out of Notre Dame. That's for me. That's too high. He's a great back.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think Tennessee's gonna bounce back. This is a good franchise. I think it's a great run franchise. It's a region that loves football. They're football fanatics down there, and I think that this franchise now is gonna get better. They're gonna get better. They're gonna be on the up and up. I'm telling you.
See, it was a huge hire in Dayball, right? I mean, because before that happened, I didn't understand why they hired who they hired. I was surprised.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Oh,
he's got his Titans hat. Look at that, kids.
That's tough. Yeah. Well,
Titans gotta get on here.
I think they're going to be on the up and up. I'm telling you. I think it's a team that's going to.
They're over under set at 6.5, Billy.
You know what?
They're in a tough division. They're got Jacksonville, Indianapolis, and Houston. Houston can play defense. They're in a tough division.
They're in a tough division, but I tell you what, I would pick them over Cardinals and Dolphins.
Well, Cardinals and Dolphins are.
They might have the best quarterback in the division.
I mean, Cardinals and Dolphins should probably be at 4.5.
Well, I mean, to be fair to the Cardinals and Dolphins, they are ass. So
yeah,
that's the Browns.
Yeah,
the Browns. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're to the time now where it's lights out buttons. Hope you enjoyed us, and we'll see you all again on the flip side.
Well, here we gotta talk about our.
William. I'm sorry. Go for
yeah,
it.
So just want to put this out there to everybody. We're going to be switching the Thursday time slot. We're kind of reviewing some options here, but we want to kind of do. We want to kind of move from the Thursday time slot, just because. When football season happens, that Thursday night game kind of screws things up because we're like, going on right at kickoff. And also there's some other things too that conflict. So we're going to be looking to move from that Thursday time slot. Currently, we're looking at Saturday. Like we're seriously thinking about Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. We'll have more. Just keep checking back. We're going to have more on that. We'll let everybody know what exactly we're currently looking at, like the Saturday time frame. We may even tweak that to we're not sure what we're going to do, but we just think that at this point in time, Thursdays is just kind of, it's just there's just a lot of conflicts with Thursday, especially Thursday night football. There's just a lot that is conflicting with that. So more to follow on that. Just keep your we'll put it out, we'll blast it out. But like I said, we'll just look for that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. John, you don't have an alternate hat? I switched since Billy switched.
No, I don't have anything near me. I mean, no, and I'm not going to show my baldness. I'm going to keep it under wraps.
All right, lights out button, folks. Enjoy your weekend. Go football.